So now let us discuss what is energy security. So energy security means power to all. Each and every individual must have a right to get the power. So this is what energy security for a nation. Now what is the hurdle in this? The hurdle in this is all the developing countries especially, they are strongly dependent on imported energy resources for their economic growth. So because of this dependency, we cannot achieve this energy security. Now what is the definition of energy security? It is the continuous availability of energy in varied forms in sufficient quantities at reasonable prices. This is what the definition. Now if we consider energy security in our country, because in recent years our energy needs are growing at a much faster rate. There are two reasons. One is the income level of our Indian people is increasing at a faster rate. At the same time, our population is also growing at a faster rate. So because of these two reasons, our energy needs are increasing. And if we see the scenario, then it is found that almost we are increasing 5% energy every year. That is demand I am talking of. Demand is increasing 5% every year. So at present, if we see the picture, almost 80% or 85% of the total consumption is recovered from import. So basically 221 millions of ton oil is imported every year. Now there was a survey which 2 years before, the projected figure was in 2020. So at the end of this year we'll get this figure. It is expected that our oil import will become 90%. So much of dependence is there on the energy resources from outside countries. So why this is so? Because if we consider Indian resources, especially oil wells, they are very old, 30 years old, and obviously their yield has now reduced to a very less extent. So because of this, we cannot expect much output from our oil fields. This is one thing. Second, about the coal, which is abundantly available in our country, but the quality of that coal is very poor. Secondly, the cost of excavation and cost at site is very high. So because of this, people find that import of crude is a very cheaper option. So that is why these imports are increasing. Now with this scenario, if we consider, when we are so dependent on imports, what will happen? We can imagine if there is a disruption in this supplies, then what will happen? It will have direct impact on our economic growth. Now we have witnessed this thing in previous years, that there was a shortage of crude, and because of that the petrol prices, they were to touch 100 rupees per liter. So that was actually disruption in oil supply. So if those prices increases, then it will have direct impact on the growth. Then it will also have a tremendous impact on human survival. So now if we consider from where we are purchasing this crude, so obviously we are purchasing it from Middle East, and you might have heard, or if you Google, you will understand that these Middle East countries, they are having a lot of disturbances, and this is a disruption prone area wherein continuously some or the other wars or war-like situations, they do occur, and because of that there is every chance that it will disrupt the oil supplies. So what is the solution then? So solution is we have to diversify the sources. That means we should not dependent on one particular source. Okay, we have to use more and more sources. I would like to give very simple example. But what do you mean by diversification? Let us say if we consider a share market. So in share market, if you invest in one particular share, so if that share goes high, you will get direct benefit. But if that share drops, you will get direct hit. So you will be in loss. But if you diversify your investment in, let us say, some 4-5 shares, then obviously even if, let us say, 3-4 shares they go up, 1 or 2 shares are down, but all in all you will get some marginal profit. It won't happen that all of the 5 shares they will drop immediately and you will get total loss. So there is a very least possibility. So this is what the meaning of diversification. So we should not dependent on only crude. We have to try for alternate sources also. Now second is to reduce the price fluctuation. So we have to reduce the oil dependency, because we have seen the prices of fuels, they are continuously fluctuating. So that is because we are totally dependent on oil. So then we have to find some alternatives like natural gas or renewables. So now here when we say that it is an import, so import means there is a price change and there is a supply fluctuation. So that we have to somehow avoid by taking various measures. So let us see one by one what are the measures to be taken so as to ensure energy security in our nation. Now let us see what are the methods to ensure energy security. So first one is reducing energy requirement. That means that every nation must try to reduce their energy requirements. Now what can be done to reduce the energy requirement? Let us discuss one by one. Improving the efficiency of extraction of fossil fuel. So the process which is used in extraction of fossil fuels, the wastages should be avoided. So what will be the impact? You will find if wastages are less, you will get more output. More output means you will get more fuel, so your dependency will obviously reduce because you are getting more fuel from your own country. So this will reduce your energy import. This is first thing. Second is improving the fuel efficiency of a new coal-fired power plants by adopting new technologies. Already in my previous lecture, I have told you there is a supercritical boilers. So those supercritical boilers, their efficiencies are quite higher than the conventional boilers. So such type of energy efficient technologies are to be used in the power plant so that we get the same output, but at the same time the fuel which is used by the plant will be reduced. So this is how we are reducing the energy requirement for a power plant. So it will help in reducing the energy requirement. Next is adopting energy efficiency and demand side management. Now what do you mean by this? So energy efficiency measures, that means whatever is waste making business. For example, I have very old motor, maybe 50-60 years back I am using. So its efficiency might be 80%, 75%, power factor may be around 0.7. So this is a loss making machine. So if you are using that, you are wasting huge energy. So can we replace that motor by a new motor which is having 0.92% efficiency, or rather 92% efficiency and 0.88 power factor? So this will save a lot of energy. So these are called as adopting energy efficiency means. We'll be discussing many more examples during this course of study. Next is what is demand side management. So in demand side management, let us say I have 4 loads which are of, let us say, 100 watt. So if I use all the loads at a time, I need a generator, I need a generating capacity of 400 watt to cater those 4 loads if they are switched on simultaneously. Now, is it necessary to switch all the loads simultaneously? Can we shift those loads in different time spans so that my my simultaneous demand gets reduced? So for example, if I use a 100-watt load at a time, then obviously straight away my generator need will be just 100 watts. So this is how I can reduce the simultaneous demand, and then this is called as demand side management. Next is promotion of public transport and mass transport. The examples are promoting metro rail, light rail, monorail, etc. in urban areas. So this will save a huge amount of energy. Now, so many people, you might have experienced that in our college also, many students, they are teachers, they are bringing four-wheelers while coming to the college. They are using it. But you will find every one uses his or her own car. Okay, remaining 3 seats are vacant. So everybody is doing that. So they are not tying up with their friends, they are not tying with their colleagues. So if they do that, what will happen? Straight away the cost of fuel will be saved. This is their own benefit. And second is the fuel required to transport, let us say, X people to one place to another place. This will also get reduced. So by sharing the vehicles also, we can contribute to the reduction in energy requirement. So I suppose, being an electrical engineer, we have to take lead and we have to discuss all such issues with the colleagues, family, friends, society, so that they will come to know what is the advantage. There are two straight away advantages. One is the individual one gets, and second one is the nation gets. So for individual also, if I share my bike, straight away my needs are 50%. My fuel gets saved by 50%. So this is what my profit. What is the profit of country? So obviously my requirement will be reduced. So this is what is helpful in ensuring energy security. Last one is developing renewable energy sources, especially solar and wind. So you might have seen all the governments, state and central government, they are keen on setting up different solar and wind plants. As I shared this information, you can Google this also, that last week our Honorable Prime Minister, he has inaugurated one massive solar plant in Madhya Pradesh. So this is how if we develop different renewable energy sources for solar and wind, then we can reduce our energy requirement. For example, if somebody opts for rooftop solar plant, okay, so maybe of 5 kilowatt, then what will happen? Immediately you will find that during the daytime, whatever energy is required for that particular home or society, it will be catered through the solar generation. So definitely you will not import any power from the grid during your daytime. So this is what a direct benefit, your energy gets saved. So these measures are to be taken by the society, by the individuals as well as government. So this is what the meaning of reducing energy requirements. I hope you are getting all these points. Now next point is substituting imported oil or gas with domestic alternatives. Now what can be done under this heading? First one is use of ethanol or biodiesel as a substitute for petrol or diesel. We know that sugarcane factories nowadays, they are encouraged to produce ethanol as their byproduct. So that ethanol can be mixed with the petrol. So obviously the amount of petrol which is used by the vehicle will get reduced. Or we can develop this biodiesel. So a lot of people are trying different techniques to generate this biodiesel. So if we produce some alternate substitutes for petrol and diesel, it will reduce the requirement of fuel or requirement of import. Then biomass gasification for heat or power as an alternative to gas and coal. We know that especially in rural area, various NGOs are trying hard. They have developed different models of biogas, and depending upon your available raw material, you can choose those models, and you can create biogas in your own house, and you can cater the energy needs like heat in your home without using either gas or heaters, electrical heaters. So this is how biomass, if we push in rural area, it will reduce the energy requirement, and this will get reduction in import. Next is use of coal to oil technology. We know that in India also we are having large coal reserves. So in almost 1955, the South African people, they have invented this coal to oil technology. And they are interested in handing over this technology to Indians also. And recently there were discussions, but right now those discussions, they are not implemented, but it is in pipeline. But in years to come, South African companies, they are ready to invest in India for coal to oil technology. So if it can happen directly, it will reduce the import of oil. So definitely will reduce the imports. So this is what substituting imported oil or gas with domestic alternatives. Next one is diversifying energy supply sources. Means what? Means we can develop energy mix wherein all type of energies are used. That means instead of oil only, we can use oil, coal, then biogas, then biofuels, then these agro residues, solar, wind, geothermal, like that. So these are some of the alternatives. So our total consumption must be a proper energy mix. It should not depend on one particular type of energy. So this is how, if we diversify, obviously our imports will be minimized. Sourcing oil or natural gas, liquefied natural gas from different countries. So as I said, Middle East countries, they are quite prone to the disruptions. So instead of purchasing the total fuel from only one country, we have to make tie-up with different countries. So even if one particular country suffers from some disruption, then definitely the other countries, they will supply us the fuel. So it will not hit our economic growth. So this is what the next measure. And last one is the import gas through pipeline. So if we import the gas through pipeline, first one, that we will get benefited. At the same time, the countries which are allowing that pipeline, so they can be also benefited through this one. So they will also get the imported gas through those same pipeline. So this is how we can ensure, by diversifying energy supply resources, we can ensure energy security. Now the last point in this energy security, last measure in this is expanding energy resources and developing alternative resources. Okay, so what we can do, we can try for recovering oil and gas from the abandoned fields. That means if there are oil wells or coal fields which were abandoned in past, that now the coal contents are less, so can we explore these oils and gas reserves again to recover some fuel again. So this is one particular aspect. Second one is gas to liquid. So can we convert that gas to liquid, which will get benefited in transporting the gas to various places, and definitely which will cater the need of our country. This is the second point. Exploration of new reserves. So making efforts in the different areas to find new reserves. So if we can find these new reserves, definitely it will reduce the imports. Then setting energy intensive plants abroad. What do you mean by energy intensive industries? The industries which need huge energy, they are called as energy intensive industries. So their needs are quite high. So such industries, say fertilizer, steel industries, and such cement industries, so they require a huge energy. So can we set up such plant in foreign countries? So what will happen if those plants are shifted? Definitely our import of fuel requirement, it will get reduced. Okay, but definitely there are other points also. When we are setting up plant there, we'll lose some revenue also, because we have to shift our manpower to that country, then we have to purchase oil in that country. There are so many other aspects, but we can try. So can it be fruitful if there is a requirement is or the oil prices are less in that country? If we shift, if we can get some margin, this will be a fruitful exercise. Then new domestic resources, like we know that our east coast is full of thorium. So can we develop fast breeder reactors, thorium reactors, which will be reducing the import of enriched uranium from foreign countries. So if we are developing this type of sources, then obviously it will reduce our import. And last one is promoting community biogas plants. This just we have discussed in our previous slide, that by promoting our community biogas plant, entire need of the entire village can be catered, and so that our requirement of fuel will be reduced. So these are the various measures required to ensure the energy security for our nation. Some of them, they are to be covered, or rather taken care of by the government, but I see there are many avenues available for a common man. We can also contribute in energy security by saving the energy. So we'll talk on this in energy audit also. So this is what about energy security. Now last bit in this is energy conservation and energy efficiency. Basically number of times we will be discussing the same topic, so you will find again this topic has been covered, but still being a syllabus point we have to discuss that. So we know that the fuels, they take millions of years to form. What the reserves, coal reserves or oil fields, what we are witnessing today, they have taken millions of years to form, but you will find they will deplete in next few decades. In last 200 years, if we see, we have consumed almost 60% of our resources. Now can you imagine, whatever we have earned in millions of years, we have spent it on 200 years, last 200 years. Now right now also our 85% of the needs, energy needs, they are fulfilled by fossil fuels, and obviously they are going to vanish soon. So that is why we need to consider this energy conservation and energy efficiency. Basically energy conservation and energy efficiency, they are not same, they are separate, but they are related to each other. So energy conservation is achieved through growth of energy consumption in reduced physical form. So energy conservation means actually if we reduce the energy consumption, that is called as energy conservation. And what is energy efficiency? So if you reduce the energy requirement without affecting the output or comfort level, it is called as energy efficiency. So both are one and the same. Conservation is little bit broader concept, that's all. So now what is energy efficiency? So let us say if we take very simple example, we have got a incandescent lamp of say 60 watt, and if we its output is 800 lumen and its lifespan is 1200 hours. Okay, so if we replace this incandescent lamp with the latest technology LED lamps, then only 8 watt bulb is sufficient to give you the same light output. That is 8 watt LED lamp also produces 800 lumen, but its lifespan is 25,000 hours, that is, which is almost 200 times more against 1200 hours of lifespan of incandescent lamp, and LED has got 25,000 hours of burning life. So you will find that if we replace this one, so obviously you will find that 60 watt is replaced by 8 watt. So our requirement gets reduced by that percentage. So this is how it is the meaning of energy efficiency. So, and second advantage by doing this is if you compare the CO2 emissions, you will find the CO2 emission for incandescent lamp is 48.4 gram per hour. That means if you burn that 60 watt lamp for 1 hour, your emission will be 48 gram. As compared to this, if you burn LED for 1 hour, the CO2 emission is just 6.4 gram. Okay, so you can when you are using LED fixtures at your home, that means you are actually contributing to the energy conservation. So this is what, so we have to encourage. If you have seen in our college, if you go to IT building, which was recently constructed 4 years back, you will find all the tube lights, they are LED tube lights. So if you compare it to the other infrastructure in our college, all the tube lights, they are almost 40 watt tube lights with 10 watt conventional choke. So almost 50 watt is the consumption of one tube, which has been straightly replaced by 20 watt LED batten. So this is how that building is entirely a 5-star building. So wherein all LED tubes are used plus LED fans. In our building, conventional building, we are using some 70-80 watt ceiling fans. But in that building, we have used Crompton Greaves 52 watt 5-star fans. So our energy requirement has dropped from 80 watt to say 52 watts, and such almost 110 fans are there in that particular building. So you can imagine how much is the energy saving, how much is the energy conservation, how much is the reduction in CO2 emission. So this is what the energy conservation business, without affecting the output. Without affecting the output comfort level, you have to reduce the energy demand. So this is how the energy conservation and energy efficiency. So energy efficiency, when this topic actually got importance. So around 1973 there was first oil crisis. So at that time people found that this is going to be very crucial for any country to develop the energy efficiency in their energy sector. Otherwise they cannot survive, especially when there is a crisis. Obviously you require you are having less energy and you have to work with that less energy to suffice your all needs. So obviously there is no option rather than adopting this energy efficiency business. So that has actually promoted the energy efficiency in the entire world. Now in this last slide, we'll just see what are the benefits of energy efficiency. So individual benefits I have not considered here, but we'll compare industry, nation and globe. So first one, if we adopt energy efficiency, we'll get reduced energy bills. So obviously you will require less energy, so your bills will be reduced. Increase competitiveness. So if you reduce your energy requirement, obviously the cost incurred on purchase of that fuel will be reduced, so production cost will also be less, so you can compete in the market with lesser price. This is the advantage for industry. Then increase productivity. So obviously your production will increase. In the same cost you can produce more goods, improve quality and increase profits. So these are the advantages if we adopt energy efficiency in an industry. What are the benefits for nation? So obviously if we reduce the energy, then it will be reducing the energy imports. This is first important fact. Then avoided cost can be used for poverty reduction. So this amount, because almost 80% power we are consuming which is imported. So if you see its cost, how much amount government pays to the Middle East countries, it is a massive amount. So if we can reduce that, so that amount can be used everywhere. So here it is mentioned that poverty reduction. I can say for infrastructure development, I can say facilitate making medical facilities everywhere. So you can use that money anywhere. So this is the advantage. Conservation of limited resources. So you can definitely conserve some of your resources which are scarce for the generations to come, and improved energy security. So obviously by this, if you reduce the energy requirement of particular nation, then the same amount can be used for many people, so it will ensure the energy security. So these are the advantages as far as nation is concerned. Now what about the world globe? So very important as far as environment is concerned, that greenhouse gases emission and other emissions which are toxic gases which are not good for human health, so they will get reduced, because by reduction in energy consumption means reduction in emissions. Straight away there is a direct relation between these two. Already you have number of times you have learnt this particular concept in your studies. Then maintains a sustainable environment. So definitely this particular environment, it will be very beneficial for the human being. So this is how there are different type of benefits of energy efficiency to the various stakeholders.